Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Limitless Health Club. Today is the very first episode, session, talk, lecture, webinar, podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's the first lesson. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm so sad there's not one person on the call yet, but we have been trying to get this kicked off for a little bit, and we are so busy at the same time that it's been a slower process to get the word out. So we're just gonna start today, anyone here or not, and we'll post this. So when you log in, you could see and watch this video. So I'm here right now in my office. This is the room where I do treatments. No, I don't hang anybody. That is ropes that are part of Iyengar yoga. It's therapy for the body. You can hang literally to stretch your body out like a bat. And you also do some workouts on it. And over here that you can't really see is the couch that I have the clients sit on. And over here I have a bucket of lasers. We have 6 of these. So if I put the laser on your body in any random place, when we put it there and you take a deep breath, like I just instantly needed to, then that's the spot where you should have it. And that's the right spot. There's not really a right or wrong with it. The laser has red, infrared, and violet light in it. And wherever you put it, it reprograms your cells, it repatterns your cells, and it completely changes the cell memory. So if you were tight in a certain spot and you always ended up getting a knot there, then that may not happen anymore because we literally reprogram the cells so they get a fresh start. And the 3 different lights work on the surface, the middle, and then even the subconscious and intangible parts of the body, meaning like the brain and the meridians and just the energy channels. So anyway, back to where I'm at. This is my room here where I treat people. I have some books up there. I have a bunch of supplements over here, and then some supplements there too. Sometimes right in the middle of someone's session, I may say, I think you really need this. And when I feed them the supplement, they're like, oh yeah, I feel better now. So I like when people walk in feeling a certain way and they leave feeling so much better, more calm and more clear. To me, that's the way a treatment should be. You don't just go to a doctor's office and then listen to your problems and then think about all the textbook choices of what they should prescribe for you and then send you off on your way. And then when you come back and you say, oh, this one gives me a headache, this one gives me a stomach ache, they think you're crazy. So, and plus you just spent all that time and you didn't even get any right away instant benefit of feeling better. So when people come here, for one-on-one sessions with me, I use the O-ring. You should come to the O-ring classes that we will be having, and they touch their bodies in different places. And we find where in the body there's energy, where there is not. And where there is not, either has a problem now or would have a problem if we didn't treat it right away. So we find the places in the body where there's no energy. We treat them with the lasers, with a grounding patch, some of the internal nutrients, some topical supplements, oils, creams, things that we can do, mud therapy. And I think I said the laser. And then they have like a whole new body, and then they leave and they do some homework. We're going to talk a little bit about some of those things today, because those are the things that you can do regardless of where you are. And if you have any supplies with you, you can use your own hands and body to heal yourself. Which brings me to my taglines. Limitless. First of all, this is called the Limitless Health Club because limitless healing is my tagline. And why that is a tagline is because it's true. Because when your biofield is intact, this little energy around you, when it's called a plasma energy field, you might have known the word like an aura. I know you can't really see my hands. So when this little energy field around you is intact, healing is limitless. So we're going to talk about that today. And that's why this is called the Limitless Health Club. We also have a couple of other health clubs. All of them entitle you to discounts on our 15% off on everything we have here in our clinic, our store, on our website. So please take advantage of the discount. The truth that is that 50 to 60 of supplements on the market today have toxic tag-alongs in them. They either have glass, plastic, or paint, according to what I've heard, and sometimes pharmaceuticals. This comes from the mouth of a person who owns an independent lab where they assay products to help them figure out if what they're saying on their label is accurate or not. And he said that 50 to 60% of products have glass, paint, pharmaceuticals in them. So I want you to know that when we do the O-ring testing before I bring a product in here, it would not test well if it had one of those things in it. It tests incredibly strong, then we carry it. And there's 5 different polarities that I test things to. We won't sell, recommend, or use anything that tests to 3 or less. It has to be 4 or 5 polarities. And the reason we give 4 or 5 instead of just 5 is that we would have a lot less things to choose from if we went all the way to 5. It's very rare that something, a food, a supplement, an herb tests really that strong. You probably had to grow it yourself, go pick it, and then we would test it. There's some good supplements out there though, and foods, of course. We are so lucky and blessed right now that people have woken up and there's organic delivery to your home, and people are doing the non-GMO. And every day more and more people are realizing that you are what you eat, and that we have to take care of ourselves, and that your body is a temple, and you only get this one temple in this lifetime. So treat it well, or you can call it your car. My body is like a souped up Ferrari at all times. I treat it as such. There was an instance where there was mold in a house that I lived in, and my landlord was like blowing it off and trying to take her time to source out remediating it. And she usually might want to do things the least expensive way. And I said, my health is worth over $5 billion. I'm not willing to mess around with mold. This needs to happen right away and thoroughly and efficiently and all the way. And that's how I feel about my body. And on any given day, that's how I treat my body. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I'm not anal. I'm not an extremist. Many people think that I am. Friends, family members, people I sometimes socialize with, they're like, oh, you're so healthy. You're like that. But you know what? I'm also practical. And I've been practicing nutrition and health for so long that I have figured out the easiest things you could do to be healthy. And that's why my second tagline is simple solutions for health. You don't have to eat extreme. You don't have to cut out every drop of sugar, every drop of carbohydrates, everything that you love. You don't have to eat vegan or raw or some other method. You just have to be normal and just be aware of your body and treat it like a Ferrari or a Mercedes or another car, a Bentley, something that, or an airplane if you're a aviation person, but treat your car well. If you buy makeup that's 99 cents and then you buy organic food, I would be surprised. I think most people do it the other way around. Most people spend a lot of money on their skincare and their hair care, and it's like $200 to get your hair done. And then they're like, well, I don't want to buy that one because it's organic, or the organic strawberries are more expensive. Let me get the non-organic ones. Well, for that extra $5 for the organic strawberries, that stuff gets into every single one of your cells throughout your gut, and you are what you eat. And whether it gets detoxified, filtered, or stored depends on everything about what's going on in your today body. I call it your today body, because where you are today is different than tomorrow and the next day. Today, if you are getting a massage, you are absolutely going to have a different today body tomorrow. And therefore, what you do for yourself to get back to 100% or to stay 100% today is going to be different than tomorrow. Because whatever I needed today is that, but tomorrow, after I get a massage tonight, tomorrow I'm going to need to flush out my lymph and put in electrolytes and possibly flush out my kidneys. My liver might be off because it might be detoxing so much from all those, the knot that they were trying to work out for 5 or 10 minutes. And anywhere where you have a knot, you have toxicity or bugs, parasites, bacteria, virus. That's what you hold in a knot. That's what you hold in a tight part of your body. Where it's tender and inflamed, underneath that, there is toxicity or bugs. And so you get all that stuff circulating and moving around in your body. I guarantee you the next day, if you do a Medi soak or a Medi bath with our ocean salts, you're going to feel a million times better. And if you don't have time to bathe, you can take lymphatic drops and pH minerals and pink salt in higher doses than you might have today. And then if you do not have a bathtub, you can just soak your hands and feet in a bucket. So you have choices. If you live near the ocean, you can just go stick your feet and your hands in the water. Sometimes being on the earth, like at the beach itself or at a park, is also helpful, and you may not even need to soak, but chances are most parks have pesticides on the grass. So even when you stand on them and you're trying to dump out toxicity, you're also absorbing some in. The ocean and the beach are a lot more pure for now. Hopefully it continues and only gets more clean. So simple solutions for health, limitless healing. And if I showed you the other room over there, the store, or if you look on my website, you'll see that there is no limitation whatsoever at all to the amount of remedies and things and treatments we can do for our bodies. We have more than 500 remedies here, and I'm only one practitioner, and there are so many amazing people and products out there on this planet, more than ever before. There's a variety of different kinds of crystals. I've seen a crystal that looks like an ice cube, and you put it on your leg and it just feels fantastic. There are people with skills. So if you're just sitting here going, oh, I was told by the doctor I have this and I'm going to have it for the rest of my life and I have to take this medicine, well, then that's you letting them control you and brainwash you. Or it's you just wanting to not try hard or to feel like a victim, but it's really up to you. You're the driver of your life, and healing is limitless, and there are infinite possibilities of things you can do to get well. I teach a handful of different things that I have people do as the groundwork and the foundation for building health. And I still believe that that's one of the missing things from all other health regimens. I do have a video called The 5 Missing Things from all other health regimens. And I strongly suggest you check that out. And hopefully I'll be making it in smaller tidbits over the course of the next couple of months for you. But in addition to the fact that most other practitioners are missing these simple little things, people do have an arsenal of remedies that work. So people bring in stuff to me. What do you know about this vitamin or this powder or this collagen or this type of remedy or this type of treatment? And I do know a lot. After 30 years in this industry, I have seen just about everything. However, there's new things every single day. I haven't seen it all. If you like it, if it makes you feel better, if it works for you, amazing, keep doing it. I like Pilates, I like yoga, I like breath of fire and breath work and meditation. And here we use tapping, swiping, lasers, earth, soaking, nutrients, topical things, mud therapy, and very specific detox programs. And all of those work. I'm just saying, you don't have to do all of them, but you should. But if you find a practitioner that does something for you that releases stuff and you end up not needing to do one of those things, then that's amazing. But all of our remedies work. And as you stay a member of the Limitless Health Club, I urge you to join some of our other classes, to watch some of the videos, to read the health letters, and really, more importantly, the blog. I have posted a lot of information in the blog. The truth is that I have the secrets to health and longevity and anti-aging at my fingertips. And I translate the science into layman's terms for you to understand. So I'm not going to talk to you about, NF kappa, or beta glucuronidase. There's an NF kappa and there's a number after it. I don't want to talk about that because it's hard. Like I can't even remember. There's like OHC32 and OHC8. Like I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to remember all those numbers. I just like to know what it is and what it does. And then I could decide how to fit it into my healing and health program. And then I use it or I don't. Coffee enemas are another remedy that I have people do. Regular enemas and coffee enemas. Should you do one today? No. Could you? Yeah. But if you have battled constipation for a long period of time, absolutely enemas are going to help you feel better. After you do mud therapy, an enema is going to make you feel even that much better. If you have traveled and eaten a bunch of junk food, an enema is going to make you feel better. But it's not going to be your cure. It's going to be a piece of the puzzle. Because after you do an enema, you need to take the microbiome and a good amount of bacteria for the gut for a few days so that you really replenish anything you've wiped out. And then that just gives you a clean slate. You still need to eat healthy and put vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, antioxidants, and phytonutrients, and enzymes, and oils, and things like that into your body so that your body can function like a Ferrari. There's a lot of components to the body. There's more than 12 different systems. If I actually gave you a program to address all 12 of those systems, you wouldn't have any time to live. Your whole life would be taking care of your 12 systems. So we prioritize. Your chiefest complaints guide me in a direction when I'm working with someone one-on-one, and how I suggest it to you. If you just got a bone scan and your bones are low, I would definitely get on bone building. And the laser, absolutely, especially with the probe, there's attachments to the laser. We can attach this. I know what it looks like, but if you put it under your jaw, right where you're about to have a root canal, it's going to strengthen that area, or where you had a root canal or an implant. And you can also use it on the knee, around the joints for surgery. It just pinpoints it a little bit deeper. But what I was talking about was the spine. I was going to say the spine. You use the laser on your spine and it will change your cells. And then you'll have cells that are turning over old bone and making new bone faster than they were before. But the real problem to bone health is your devices. If you don't put the EMF remediation on your devices, that is demineralizing your bones at a very rapid pace. This is a new laptop that I got not very long ago. It's, the thin, sleek kind. The newer, the more deadly. So this is called a 5G disc, and it's a little bit, something just happened. I thought we were recording. Are we still recording? Yes, I'm recording. So this is a 5G disc that blocks 5G. I don't know if you could tell, but it's not flat. It's like not nowhere near as high as my pen. It's like a fingernail. It's like a few fingernails. And then these are the ones that we recommend all the time, these 6 stickers. But why do I have 6? Because that's how deadly this laptop is. Every time I touched it, it was like radiating my fingers. And so I put 6 on there, and QRA and O-ring tested it until it did not throw off my biofield. And I would rather put some of those stickers on the bottom near the battery, but we want to have them close to the screen and close to the battery. But every time I touched that trackpad, I was like getting electrocuted. So 6 of those and a 5G is what remediated one laptop. And I have people that come in here and they're like, yeah, I put my 1 sticker on my phone. Like, that is nowhere near enough. That's like enough for like 1G, but we're way past that by now, aren't we? So going back to the systems of your body, and if I was to put you on a program to address all of them, your supplement program would be, this long, your daily homework would be this long, and the amount of things you needed to do to tend to your body would be like ridiculous. You'd have appointments every day of your life. And we don't want to live like that. I want to live the whole time I'm alive. And I want to function and have a great time and dance and ski and party and jump up and down and whatever I want to do until I can't and until I'm not here. I want to do it the whole time I'm alive. So that's why my motivation for staying healthy. And I don't know, what is your motivation for being healthy? Hopefully it's the same thing. You want to use your hands and your wrists, and you don't want to have weird things growing on you. And you don't want to have a gigantic timeout because you're in pain. So we focus on your chief complaint would be the place to start. And then you look at any scars and traumas to see how they're connected to that, and you have to heal those. But I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to point out that you shouldn't have a program that has like 70 supplements a day. Then you're not doing enough, because nutrition, if you have to take more and more and more and higher doses of nutrition to feel as good as you felt the other day or last year, then the problem is not your nutrients, it's a traffic jam, a blockage, a thick scar, your C-section, your episiotomy, the car accidents, the trauma to your head or tailbone. That's what's causing all of your problems. So what you do have to do is restore your biofields, remediate your devices, get your assembly line working well, which is also your detox system, and then you can work on the scars. And that's how you end up staying healthy and feeling better for the rest of your life. And it is a seesaw. It's biofield first, and then assembly line. And then when your assembly line is good, which are your detox organs, then you can start to work on a scar, but then you got to come back and strengthen and flush the assembly line. Then you can go back to the scar. And it's a seesaw for the rest of your life. And once in a while, your biofield gets thrown off because you went through 5 toll booths, or you're on an airplane for 12 hours or something like that. Or you just stopped taking minerals, or you were inside all winter and barely saw the earth or the sun and did not take enough minerals and electrolytes. Or you're around a lot of people who have a lot of devices that are not remediated. Or your neighbor puts in some crazy tower or mesh system into their house, and you're getting zapped all day long because you didn't remediate your home also. So the next door's neighbor's house, through this, there's a window right here in my office. And then there's probably like about 4 feet and a fence, and then 4 more feet till the next house. I think it's bigger than that. And I rarely hear them or see them. So it's definitely more private than I just described. But if they put in that room right there in that house a DirecTV dish or their Wi-Fi router, and then they uploaded to some mesh system while everyone was on a lockdown because they needed more internet power, then it's possible that right here in this room, we're getting radiated all day long. But it's really not possible because I have done Vastu to my entire property. And I check it at least once a year. I should probably check it more now because of the 5G upload that they just did. But I also have a Wi-Fi, which looks like my laser. It has the light of my laser, but it's a spaceship. And I have that in the other room. And that just puts a quantum field over a half mile. So kind of makes us untouchable. So, but I have both. I've had the Vastu on my property for close to 15 years now. And people walk in and go, oh, it feels so good in here. And people tell me when their kids walk in, they behave totally differently here than they do normally. And that's because 99% how you feel comes from your environment. So you have to make your environment healthy too. So I want to stop talking and take questions, but nobody else is here. So I'm probably not going to go on for another half hour because it's kind of boring to just watch one person talk for an hour. And I kind of want to get you more pumped up and excited for getting healthy and dipping your toe into trying a couple of new techniques as you go through this Limitless Health Club. So I will reiterate a couple of things to leave you with some good thoughts, but and some take-home messages, things that you can do right away. But I want to tell you that on my website, I put together a DIY section. So if you were going to come in here for your headaches or your back pain or your constipation, and it just doesn't work out, because I do work on Zoom and have for a decade. But if it's not going to work out, timing, money, whatever it is, you can go to the DIY section, and that might even be, it's just better for some people to do it themselves. You need to empower yourself. Not everyone needs to have a session. You might later, but get the groundwork done, because you don't need me. You don't need to pay me for a session to teach you a few basic things. You just need to do those things. So start with the DIY section. Section 1 is not very expensive to buy a few things and to use the earth and use your tapping and swiping and your own body, and then do that for a month. You can master that, then you can move on to step 2. And so I walk you through a handful of steps that are going to take you a while. When you get to by step like 6, 7, or 8, I might suggest some lab work or a session with me if you need more specific help at that time. But by then you should have built a foundation. You should be flushing your assembly line. You could do mud therapy yourself. You could do the simple solutions detox, and you could really change your entire life by yourself. I wrote it out for you. It's very easy to do. Just go to my website, julieehealth.com. Please share it with a friend, somebody in need. We all have people that just need to be healthy. It's always weird when it comes from me, when I send health gifts to friends. At this point, most of my closest friends, like if I send them a watch or a bracelet, they're like, what are the health benefits? They just assume that whatever I'm sending to them is going to make them healthier. So that's how I'm known. How are you known? Are you known as the party animal, or are you known as the crazy psycho one that gets stressed out too often? How do people know you, and how do you want to improve or grow or evolve? Because 2022, according to numerologists, is the year of self-care, going inside and evolving. So take a deep breath and just exhale, and just, I'm going to give you a moment of silence to think about how people know you and how you'd like to evolve. And if you don't have to know details, you just have to know, I want to have more energy. I want to be happier. I want to feel better. I want to know more knowledge. Like, how do you want to evolve? All right. Might want to write that one down. And you know how you learn best. Some people need to have it written down. Some people could listen. Some people watch. Some people have notebooks. I've worked with people one-on-one for like 25 years at this point. Everyone's got their own unique thing. So take the time, this is not a program where we're going to go for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks and we're trying to reach a specific goal. This is a health club where, just like you go to the gym, you're going to go and you're going to learn stuff, and you're going to take it home messages, and you're going to feel better, and you're going to apply them to your life. So get yourself either a notebook or a memo on your phone or your computer, something easily accessible, and make yourself a couple of notes or set a couple of alarms for your day. I set many alarms. Sometimes I have to, if I think about at 7 p.m. or 5 p.m. even, that I wanted to take a certain supplement, but it's too late to take it today, I'll make myself an alarm for tomorrow, just so I don't forget. It's so much more stressful if you forget. And I've gone through like, oh, I really need to take blank. And then 2 days later, I'm like, I can't even believe I forgot to take that. It's because you're busy 100 miles an hour and you're taking other supplements and you're going to Pilates, or you're taking care of your kid or other people. And then it's like the one little thing that I was thinking about at a random moment that I should take, then I didn't. And I'm just making that up. That doesn't happen to me that often. I am good. I practice what I preach, and I always have a program, but I don't have a me to go to. I do. I schedule appointments with myself, and I take a long bath in the Medi-Soak. I go to the beach and I sit for a little while, or I sit in my garden, my forest, in my backyard, and I just lay in peace and quiet, and I breathe, and I go inside, and I think about, did I poop? Did I sleep? Did I have enough energy? Oh, which way was hard for me to bend today in yoga or Pilates? Oh, what's going on over there? Oh, it's near my adrenal. Oh, I jumped when the door opened today. Oh, my adrenal must be off. And then I'm thinking, oh, I should take an Adrenavin or two and see if that just alleviates it instantly. But Adrenavin makes energy and it's after dark. And I don't want to create energy after dark. I want to make sure that I create soothing and healing so I can sleep. Sleep is the most important thing next to eating and moving your body. And so I don't want to take Adrenavin now. So then I'm like, oh yeah, take Adrenavin tomorrow, but I'm like in the bath or in my bed or something. And I might not remember in the morning. So I don't do Siri very much. I just type myself, I set an alarm and it says, take Adrenavin for like 10 a.m. So when the alarm goes off, I remember. Most of the time I remember after making the memo. Doesn't that work also? So you just have to take care of yourself. Healing is a bumpy road. Depends on where you're at in your cycle. Even if you're at menopause or past, you still have a cycle and things happen cyclically with the moon or when the planets move. All of that. You know all that. You don't need me to tell you. I'm just going to go for just a couple more minutes. I actually taught a webinar today for something that's going to be online in a couple of weeks. We pre-recorded it. So I just wanted to go back and teach you with a little more visual something that I talked about today earlier. Oops, I should have scrolled to the beginning before you got here. Okay, so here's the logo in the center, one of my logos with all three of my taglines. Simple solutions for health, limitless healing, and infinite possibilities. And a lot of my contact info. I have a lot of videos on YouTube. I have tons of information on Instagram. I don't really do a lot on Facebook, but our Instagram posts also, we post there. Okay, so I've mentioned this a couple of times today, but I just want to solidify this for you. There are 3 steps to healing, regardless of who you are. And if I lined up 25 different people, color, ages, race, and gender, whatever, sizes, they will all get a custom program for their today body. However, part of that will always include making sure these 3 things are working. The biofield, your plasma energy field around you. It's my little bubble. And so I know how to test myself energetically because I practice the O-ring a lot. You should come to class. So my energy field, my biofield right now is 1,000. Oops, no, 800 feet. It's about 800 feet. So in every direction around me, I have a bubble for 800 feet. That's actually small for me. I am usually, it's on the average the lower side. I can easily be 2,000 feet after I laser or yoga or a Medi-Soak bath. Anyway, the biofield, think of a bubble around you and then little pin-sized holes in it, microscopic holes from smog and chemtrails and other people's phones and devices and the neighbors and stress and dietary factors. When there are holes in the biofield, it's like leaky gut syndrome, but it's like leaky field. And when those holes are not there and the biofield is intact, healing is limitless. So make sure your biofield gets intact. Get your phones ready because I am going to give you a screen in a few minutes where you can take a picture of things to do to heal each one of these 3 things, okay? So that's the biofield. The second thing is your assembly line. I talk about it all of the time. If you're new to following or working with me, then you're gonna hear this repeatedly. Your assembly line, assembly line, assembly line, say it 3 times fast. It's hard. Assembly line is your detox system. I hate saying the assembly line is your detox system, like an oil change of a car. How old are you? 40, 30, 45? And have you ever had an oil change to your body? If your answer is no, I guarantee your assembly line is clogged. Anything that's clogged, there's detours. And then there's also sludge and it gets sluggish. And where it gets sluggish, no energy goes. And then you end up having a toxic waste site inside your body. So let's say it's at your C-section scar. Every time you do twists and turn and crunches and back bends, you are wringing out that toxic waste site and it's secreting toxins all around your body. And that's why my head hurts or my shoulder hurts today, my finger, my elbow, because it's just like secreting and going wild depending on what you do and the rest of your body and your own unique traumas. And then so biofield intact, assembly line has to be working well, and then we can look at the traumas and injuries. So I'm just going to bring up a couple of other screens here. This is really the perfect picture of the biofield. It's you inside a bubble, and it should be a shield. It's a plasma. It's like thick, and like I think of it like a mucus layer, but it gets little holes in it from all of the things in these 5 pictures, and more than that, but those are the ones that we are exposed to the most. So your phone, your tablet, your Wi-Fi, toll booths, and the checkout counter, that red light at the checkout counter. When that thing gets on your body, it instantly turns your biofield off for a split second. If you're weak and low and your pH is not alkaline, or you're low in nutrition or stressed out or emotional or elderly, you're not going to recover so quickly. If you take a lot of vitamins and you exercise and you eat healthy and you usually feel pretty good, your biofield will recover pretty quickly. But it may take a while. And then as soon as you use your phone again, or as soon as you hold your phone, weakens the biofield. So you have to remediate all of these devices. We have the LNP paint, we have the stickers, the discs, as I said, we have jewelry. I'm wearing one of our EMF necklaces. We have one of our clients make the necklaces. I'm trying to get it into a light that you could see it, but I just don't think you can. And we have one of our clients use our EMF paint and make jewelry. So it's just a cute little thing, but it's actually stylish. I have gotten probably 50 compliments on it. And it's just a little thing that blocks EMF. And if I don't want to wear it because it doesn't match, I put it in my pocket. It's very easy. But don't leave home without something for your blocking 5G if you go to places like Times Square or Vegas. Okay, so that's the biofield. And let's see, my mouse decided not to scroll. The assembly line: liver, gallbladder, kidneys, intestines, and lymph. They're all pictured here. I included the pancreas because of a reason with the digestion. They're not exactly part of the assembly line, nor is the stomach, but they are connected to it. And so if any one of these is clogged, sluggish, tired, or weak, it will back up the whole system. Each part of these have different ailments connected to them. They call it the angry liver. The gallbladder is the organ of fear. The kidneys are decision-making and equilibrium. And like when you're klutzy is when your kidneys are off. And then most of you know what it's like when your gut is off, you are constipated, or your digestion just isn't that great today. And the same is true with your lymph. You won't know it. You might go, oh, I just feel like, ew, like I'm holding on to water, or I feel bloated, or I just feel like there's extra stuff on me. That's what women do. I'm a woman, so I can say that. So that's when your lymph is off. But each one of these has different remedies for them. Tapping and swiping is the one that works on all of them, and castor oil works on all of them. The laser works on all of them, mud therapy. So you have a lot of remedies. Acupuncture works on the assembly line and the organs and glands, but I've really never seen anyone that came to me after recently having acupuncture for a problem when I'm saying too many negatives. Everyone that has ever come to me soon after acupuncture for a specific ailment, when they arrive, that ailment still is weak energetically. So, acupuncture opens some things up, but it's not as permanent as when you open up those meridians and train them to stay open with the nutrients. And of course, the laser is just gold. So anyway, traumas and injuries. You're born as a perfect little baby, no traumas. You're just like perfect ball of energy. All your meridians and channels are flowing. Energy is moving all throughout your body. It's just like a brand new car, right? Perfect car. But then the baby, I told the story before where when I was changing my son's diaper, I was so careful and I did everything and I put it back in the bag. I was clean and I was careful. And then I picked him up and I went to get up and I smashed his head right into the changing station. It's terrible. Of course, I was traumatized. So there were two traumas at the same time because he was like so new. And I hit his head against that stupid plastic thing. I don't know why I was under it. I think it was broken. Anyway, thank you, Target. So there was a trauma from the second you're like 2 months old. And then you're learning how to walk and you fall and then you fall over. I have a little girl that fell over because of her Croc shoes. You fall out of the high chair. I've had clients that have done that. I, as a young teenager, used to sleep at this girl's house on her top bunk bed, and I would fall while asleep from up there to the floor. Bam! How many times did I do that? Probably like 4. And how many traumas to your body and like your spine and like that jolt, you know, that throws off your meridians and your energy field, and you don't even know that they're off. How would you know? It doesn't show up on an MRI or a CAT scan. All that shows up on those are if you're bleeding or if there's like damage, but they don't look at meridians in traditional medicine. So all of your traumas throughout your entire life, you write them all down, you make a list, and as you start to work your way past, you do the biofield, the assembly line, you make those work really strong, then you can start to chip away at the traumas and assess, is this one causing me a problem? And how will you know? If you know how to do O-ring, you'll eventually be able to do that. I can do it for you and to tell you in one of your sessions, or if it comes up in one of these talks, if someone asks that question and we have time. But also castor oil. So I have people put castor oil on their assembly line, right on those organs, right before you get into the shower. When you get into the shower, you usually go, for a minute and just stand in the water. And then by the castor oil is already inside your organs, giving you a treatment to all of them. You don't have to drink the castor oil, you just put it topically. And then when you wash and when you're done, you're like, oh, all my assembly line got a treatment today, awesome. And so once you do that a few times or a handful of times, if you're brand new to getting healthy, then you could go, well, let me just try this one little scar, and you do that and the assembly line. And if you feel horrible after, then that scar is definitely toxic. If you don't feel that after, then you could say, well, let me try another scar. And so you work your way through it. But remember, after you work on the traumas and injuries, you got to come back to the assembly line and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth till you just feel amazing, until none of those scars are reflexing to or taking down any of your other organs or any of your chief complaints. And I have a free download. There's a whole section of free downloads on my website. And one of them is called castor oil. And that will tell you about where to put the castor oil. This is a picture of the earth. There's the pre-earthing and the post-earthing. That's 15 minutes of being on the earth. Look at how different somebody's cells look. Before and after, they're all drastically different. All of your health happens on the cellular level. This is also in the free download section. And then the pictures on the right, you can see the yellow and red is like heat and inflammation, and the green and blue is soothing, calm, and peaceful. So before and after being on the earth for 15 minutes, this is what happens to your cells. They get improved. Oh, this is the screen that I wanted to show you. The biofield, assembly line, and interference fields, some different things you can do, nutrients and remedies each step of the way. And castor oil looks like it is not in the middle section. It should absolutely be in the assembly line section. So castor oil and mud therapy also there. I didn't really want to give it, I don't like when people do mud therapy until they're actually ready to do it, because I don't want you to detox like crazy. I want you to do the mud and go, oh, I feel so much better, instead of, oh, now I have a massive headache and I'm dehydrated, tired, and constipated. So I don't recommend mud therapy until much later into your healing. And what else? I was talking about the biofield, the assembly line, and your traffic jams, and telling you you can download some of those for free. And I also recommend tapping and swiping. And so I'm just going to walk you through tapping and swiping, and then I'm going to let you go, because everyone should tap and swipe as often as they can. And I want to do it again and show you. You should do it every single day. And so stand up. I have my mushroom chair. Well, you can't see it. Okay, you take your 2 fingers because they are the strongest. And you could use all 4 if you want, but at least 2. And actually, let's do all 4 on the top of your head and just tap and breathe out. And you go around the head and around the eyes. And you're tapping neck, the jaw, breathing out. I'm wearing dark colors. You can't really see me that great. Tapping around the chest. You can tap the chest itself, on the ribs, to the belly, right and left of the belly, all the way to the pubic bone, breathing out. I will not be able to exhale as much as you should because I'm talking. For the back, you're going to make fists with your hands and use the corner knuckle and tap on your back and all the way down to your kidneys and into your hips, and breathe out. And then just rest your arms for a second. Breathe out 3 more times. Breathing out again, and then you tap the armpits, the front, the middle, the back of the armpit, and the other side, front, middle, back of the armpit, big exhales. And then you do the groins. It's like the same thing in the places where you bend when you're sitting down. Breathing out, and we kind of did the back ones a little bit because it felt good earlier. And exhale, and you breathe out a few more times. And then you take one hand on the shoulder and you swipe, swipe, swipe the whole entire, all 360 degrees of the arm. Just do one side, just the one side first. Breathing out, exhale, shake it out, and just feel the difference in your 2 arms before we move on. All right, this one, it feels like I'm like lopsided like this. So now let's do the other side. We swipe, 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 breathe, exhale. You can also download tapping and swiping on my website. It's a little bit different. It's a little more specific for your assembly line. And breathe out. And I just got the hiccups, so pardon me in advance. Then you take your hands on your low back, just above your pants, like my pants are here. And you swipe down. And you swipe all 360 degrees of the leg. And you might even bring your leg up and swipe, 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 and swipe the top and the bottom. I can do it standing, but I was leaning on a ball. So then you do the other leg. Make sure you do the top and the bottom of your foot. Breathing out. A few more exhales. Exhale again. And that is tapping and swiping. I'm going to bring my chair back over. So I went for 50 minutes, longer than I thought. I hope you learned something. I'm sure you learned a lot. Please make some plans for yourself as to how, and when you're going to take care of yourself, set little appointments for yourself, set some reminders, and share this Limitless Health Club with at least 3 friends. 3 is my lucky number, so I had to say 3. So share it with 3 friends, tell them about it. I'm happy to answer questions. I could either give a talk like this each time, or I could do a little talk and answer a lot of questions. That was really my plan. People always want to hang out with me and just sit and talk to me, to the point where, of course, my teenager is like, oh, could we just leave? But and I love talking about health and teaching people what to do and how to feel better and making people better. I mean, I've been doing it really since I'm 16, so I don't know much more than that. It's been my thing my whole life. So I want this program to grow to where we are helping people in like 25 countries. You can watch the videos at your own leisure. And please give us comments and feedback. about the program, and you're logging in, and anything that you see on the dashboard. And, we only hope to make it bigger and better for you. If you live in the United States, you should definitely take advantage of shopping on our website and in our clinic, because we have the cleanest products and we have a large variety of products. We have hormone balancing, sleep, travel, digestion, superfoods, and we're working on our skincare right now, and everything has no toxic tag-alongs and makes you feel better right now in your today body. Please read the free downloads, read some of the blogs on the website, and let me know what's your favorite thing and what doesn't work at all for you, so that we can just keep improving it, because I want you all to have a very healthy day. We're moving into this Aquarian age. I had to go spiritual for a second. And, even if you don't know what that means, we're finishing a life cycle, I guess, on the earth, is what they say, like medieval times, dark ages. We're moving into a new time. And in this time, we're all going to be healthy and happy. And so I want to be a part of helping that happen for you. So thank you so much, and have a healthy night. Oh, I guess I could stop sharing this. And I hope to see you at the next class or in my clinic. Have a healthy day. Bye, guys.